Alrighty, we are going live. We are going live. Live in effect. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Let me go ahead and share this out real quick. And give me a little something to drink. What's happening? We finna get to it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah, already ready. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We got some things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Got some things to talk about. The documents are in. The documents are in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They kept trying to act like the Supreme Grand Council didn't exist. I say, what's up with the Supreme Grand Council? They say, what's that? You apply the pressure. You stand on truth. Sooner or later, man. Sooner or later, things got to show themselves. Peace, 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 peace. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I'm just getting my things together real quick. Got some things that I wanted to speak to you about. Just one moment. Just want to make sure I get my paperwork together. You know what I mean? Where is the things that I was... there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. Peace, 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 peace. What's happening? Hotep, Jumbo, Ola. What's happening? Peace, Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Ni hao, konnichiwa. I think that about covers it. How you doing today? It's a beautiful Sunday where I'm at in Oakland Territory, California. You know what I mean? Khalifa. What's happening? What's happening? Oh yeah. Peace, Mrs. Zeno, Asiatic, Afan, Chauncey Bay, Skunk Moxie. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Supreme Grand Council documents revealed. What are you talking about, Rami? Oh man, we're gonna get to it. But before I do, I want to put some things on the record, put some things out there first, so everybody is understanding what I'm talking about. If you have absolutely no clue what the Supreme Grand Council is, just go ahead, exit out this video, hit the Googles. Yeah, I mean, it's plenty of videos that I've done. If you just go to YouTube and type Supreme Grand Council, it'll pop right up. Watch that, then double back to this one, just so you can get a better understanding. If you don't want to do all that, at least double back on those videos after you get done watching this, so you can get better clarity. Because I'm not finna go through the whole meanery. What I am gonna do, just read this again, just so we get on the record real quick. Moorish Science, Temple of America. This is Moorish literature. It's what every Moorish American, every member of a temple should be receiving as soon as they get up in that thing. You know what I mean? This information everyone should have, but I'm just going to read it just so that we get a better understanding, make sure we're all clear. And this one is coming out of the section Teaching Quran. Because of certain incidents in some of the branch temples previous to the convention, far-reaching changes for the betterment of administrative affairs. So changes happen for the betterment of administrative affairs. For the betterment of the administrative affairs of the organization will be announced at the convention by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and enforced by the Supreme Grand Council. So you understand the Supreme Grand Council has some authority over the organization. We read a little bit further so you fully get understanding of what this is about. To make changes. It is reported that the Prophet, the supreme executive authority, will appoint a Supreme Grand Council, of which he will be the Supreme Grand Chairman. The Supreme Grand Council will have power and duty to control and supervise all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and they will be the sole judge of what constitutes conduct injurious to the order, peace, interest, or welfare of the organization, or at variance with its constitution and bylaws. Talking about constitution, we're talking about government now. Also, the rules and regulations made by the Prophet, and shall be the sole judge of the sufficiency of the evidence by which such conduct is shown. That's what the Supreme Grand Council is responsible for. They have the power and the duty to control and supervise all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So if we're talking about legal affairs, business affairs, religious affairs, social affairs, we're talking about educational affairs. We're talking about intellectual property. We're talking about real physical property. Yes, they have the power and the duty to control all of that, the Supreme Grand Council. So understand, in summary, the Supreme Grand Council is a big deal. Very important group within the Moorish Science Temple of America. Understanding that, if you are more watching this, if you are a Moorish American, if you are a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, your question should be, who are the members of the Supreme Grand Council? If this group has so much power and authority, it makes logical sense to understand who is in those positions, who is trusted with that power. That makes sense. Said all that to say, several years ago, I discovered this, studying, and said, who are these people? I couldn't find them. So I made a video asking, who are the members, the active members of the Supreme Grand Council? Whole year went by, nobody got back to me. I made another video, then another video. And here we are, 2019, about 4 years later, and my personal opinion is that we didn't have an active Supreme Grand Council. That's why no one could give me the names of the members, because there were none to give. And it has been inactive for quite a long time. It's a harsh truth. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't look good on our organization or us as a people, but it is, from my research and the evidence I have seen, that's how it seems to me. That's the conclusion that I have made. But wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We had some changes. Last second audibles. And all of a sudden, I had someone reach out, said, well, these are the members of the Supreme Grand Council. Now, I didn't have any documentation to verify that, any official record that shows these people are, and in the Moorish literature, which I want you to read, it gives you a process by in which we are supposed to choose those people for the Supreme Grand Council. The executive authority, they choose the 7, and then the grand body confirms it. So there should be a record of the people that got put into those seats. I didn't see the record, no problem. I reached out to one of the people, the Supreme Public Relations Officer of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Didn't get anywhere. Whole week later, I get an email. Saying, I made me a little notes. It's a document, a 17-page document titled "The Supreme Grand Council the Moorish Science Temple of America Supreme Grand Council rulings of the 89th and 90th convention years. And it's 17 pages, and it's allegedly this Supreme Grand Council fielding questions and responding to these questions from over a year ago. It was the date that I saw that it said it was the whole document was revised for clarity on 9/19/2018. So that's September 18th, 2018 was when this document was revised for clarity. And I'm just now getting it sent to me in February 2019. So we talking about 4-ish, 5-ish months. And that brings us to what are we talking about right now? In the email, the person, and her name is Temeaka Gray L. I don't want to mispronounce or misspell it, but I believe it's Temeaka, Temeaka Gray L. In that email, she told me to not redistribute the Supreme Grand Council rulings to anyone else, and that if anyone was to they wanted to see it, they needed to contact the Supreme Grand Council for it. And that's where I was stuck. That's where I was very puzzled, and I was stuck. I said to myself, why would she be wanting to not put this out to the public? Why? Especially when it took me, if the first video I made about the Supreme Grand Council was in 2015, and it took me to 2019 to get any sort of documentation about it, why would I then send people that are asking me about it to the same people that took almost 4 years to reach out to me? Bigger than that, I was wondering, well, what law or what rule says that people need to go and request it through the Supreme Grand Council to get this information? Why are we doing that process? What is the reason for that? And then I sat back and I said, well, let me think about other nations. And I said, well, let's take the U.S. for example. When they have a ruling in, say, the Supreme Court, do they say for anyone willing or anyone that wants to learn about the ruling, you got to send a request to this email and then we'll get back to you on the ruling? I wasn't positive, so I just Googled Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court rulings. And guess what popped up? Bunch of rulings. Actually, it was a website to the New York Times. That was the first link I clicked. It was a link to the New York Times of 2018 of the biggest Supreme Court rulings of that year. And when I went to that article, it lists a bunch of different cases that the Supreme Court ruled on, and then it had a link that you could click for the case. And it didn't send you to the website for the case. It was just a straight download of the PDF. Simple. I have to go seek out this person and call the United States Supreme Court and then holler at this person on Facebook Messenger and then send this email and then wait for 7 days, possibly 15 days to get the record. And that's how it should be, because these rulings should be for the public. The Supreme Court isn't doing these things and isn't settling these cases to be held in private and only if you do the proper request for this information, because this information is for the people. This Supreme Grand Council ruling for the Moorish Science Temple of America, it is a document filled with questions from people asking the Supreme Grand Council about different topics. The answers should be clear for everyone to see, posted and made available public for everyone in our nation. It's very simple. It's not some national security threat. It's not some, if we let this information out, oh, then the infiltrators, they will know how to take over the movement. There's no reason to be withholding this information, except if you're trying to hide something. Except if revealing that information would actually reveal some of the corruption. That's when people want to hide things. That's when people are very hesitant about releasing information. It's common sense, people. It's common sense. Now, I've just spoken superficially on this. I didn't even delve into the document itself and all the problems and all of the issues that I seen in just a quick read of that document. I didn't even address any of that. This is just the processes and the protocols to just obtaining some basic information about remember, this is our movement. I believe, and it feels like certain officials, certain people that are, heads of temples and of this movement, allegedly, it seems as though they feel we work for them and they dictate to the nation how things goes. And that is incorrect. That's how maybe the US, the democracy, does things. But that's not how we're supposed to do things as Moorish Americans. No. We're supposed to be going by the Constitution, the Republic. That's for the people. And you are serving on behalf of the people. Whether you are a Grand Sheik, Grand Governor, Grand Treasurer, Supreme Public Relations Officer, Chairman, Mufti, Secretary, whatever, business manager, all of these people are in positions of servants, not dictators. They're not rulers over people. That's not how this goes. Because I said to myself, if I start sending, if people email me and want to find out this information in the document and I send them to the people, why would I do that? That's sending, when I clearly see it's very problematic, the individuals that are claiming to be these officials. Why would I do that? And I said, well, I don't want to become the arbitrator and have people email me to get the information, because then I'm doing exactly what they're doing. I said, okay. I think the solution is to make the document public for everyone. And so that is what I'm going to do. I actually don't know how just yet. I didn't think that far ahead with the plan, because I came on live to tell you guys about it. But I'm thinking I think what I'm gonna try to do is make a folder in a Google Drive, folder, and just drop the document right there, and it's open to everyone, who has the link. That's what I do. Boom. It's open to anyone who has the link, and then I'll put the link in this video description. So if you're watching and you're listening to this part right now, hit pause, then go into, well, I can't do it right now because we live, but I'm saying, then you hit pause and you go to the link and you go to the Google Drive, and boom, you got the document. You ain't got to sign up. You don't have to request it from me. It's right there, available to all Moorish Americans, all Moors, because it's supposed to be, because it's for the public. And this is the thing that I was thinking about. If I'm mistaken, if I'm incorrect, if this was somehow unlawful for Moorish Americans, who would decide? Who would make that determination? The Supreme Grand Council. You see why we need the Supreme Grand Council? You know what I mean? Because people could say, oh, well, you're not supposed to do that, Rami. Well, who are you to tell me that? And that, not past this issue, that's an issue that I see with this movement. Because if I decide I want to make nationality cards for the nation because I don't see nobody else doing it, well, who are you to tell me I can't? Because you're not doing it. Or if I want to create this group and I want to put liens on houses and do this, that, and the third to try to get people out of jail, one womp and the third, you can't tell me nothing. Who could tell me something? You grand sheep? Well, I could say that you're not official, blase, blase, blah. And I'm creating my own thing outside of the movement and blah, 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 blah. And there's no way to be held accountable. There's no authority that we all can respect and look to for if there is some sort of disagreement, some sort of issue at law. The Supreme Grand Council is that authority. And it was not established by me. It's not my opinion or Taj's opinion or any Moorish American that you've been seeing, any more that you've been seeing on the YouTube. It's not none of our opinions. It's what the universal prophet Noble Drew Ali established. So in my opinion, I think that's who we should be following. I think that's the the model and the guide and the structure we need to be working on. Not trying to start from scratch and create our own entity thinking that we can somehow outthink Noble Drew Ali. Because it ain't finna happen. Okay, champ? All right. Just get in line. Noble Drew Ali #1, baby. That's just how it go. I'm sorry. This is just how the cards played out, man. They can't be MJ. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be Bron. Some people got to be Pippen. You know what I mean? Some people got to be Cool Coach. If you don't follow basketball, you didn't catch that. Anyway, let me get to the things, man. A lot of people tapping in. Well, before I read that, did what I say make sense, or did I lose or confuse anybody on anything? Great question. Does the does the documentation have the names of each member? Jonathan Scott Bay, it does. Here's something very interesting. Because it was 2 documents that were sent. I wish I would have looked more carefully so I could have had it for a fact. But I'm just going off of what I remember, that one of the documents was just a 1-page PDF of what they submitted into Cook County. And what I found interesting about that is that it was on the sheet of paper itself. The date was like December 14th, 2018, of when they were, it was an affidavit basically attesting to who were the members. And it was as of December 14th, 2018, I believe. Don't hold me to it, but December 2018. And that's when it was on the official document. However, there wasn't 7 signatures. It was only 2 signatures, the Grand Sheik and the Assistant Grand Sheik, if I'm not mistaken, which I found interesting because I was thinking, why wouldn't all of them sign? I would think that that would be a document that was necessary for all of them to sign and attest to. But bigger than that, up at the top, when the court recorded it, it was January 28th, 2019. So like 2 weeks ago. So to me, it really feels like, and I could be mistaken, I may be incorrect, but it feels like, it seems like from the evidence that when I made these videos about a month ago, cats got to panicking. Oh shoot, let's put something together. Let's hurry up, get it together, put it in, and then let me send it back to them so it appears like, yeah, we're official. Yeah, yeah, we've been doing what we supposed to the whole time. But this is the thing. All will be revealed. Don't come out in the wash. You know what I'm talking about. Let me get some of these questions real quick. What about what about the United States of America Republic? KD, what about it? Please let me know. Is Ra Saudi El one of them? Miss Chauncey Bay, I do not believe so. One of them, if you mean um, members of the Supreme Grand Council, I do make as soon as I get up off this, I'm gonna make it real quick, drop them in there, and I'll post it on the Facebook so you could you know what I mean, share that out too. It's all good. It's for everyone. It's not, we're not holding this back. It's not some secret. You can't have my Supreme Grand Council information. We gotta cut that out, man. We looking quite foolish. Okay, make a lot of sense. Casper yellow color. On point, Jonathan Scott Bay, clear. Okay, all right. I'm glad I'm making some sense. Um, that's deep. I know people say they aren't scared of death, but who want to die early? I was sitting back and was like, damn, the only reason I'm scared is that if I meet our creator when I die and he says you didn't do what you were supposed to. Casper yellow color. On that point, that's part of why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm doing. That's why I've even done any of these videos. Is because I got to a point when I was reading this information and it was beyond, okay, I think this is real. I think this is true. It's like, nah, this is true. You got it confirmed with documentation and factual evidence, and you didn't have spiritual stuff happen where no one else can explain how that happened. You know what I mean? So for me, once it got to that point, I said, well, I'm not going to be one of the ones when this is all said and done, you know what I mean? And God, Allah, Jaz, you know what I mean? Like, what's happening? Rami, I laid it out for you. You asked, you wanted to know the truth. You said, you begged, just show me the truth and tell me what I'm supposed to do. And then when we are shown that, we can't then run away from it. We can't then wonder, oh man, who else is going to do it? Why ain't nobody else? Because it's you. It's you. Stop looking around for anyone else. Stop waiting on the internet. Stop waiting in the wings, in the shadows, hoping somebody gonna speak on it. Get a little courage. You know what I mean? And get out there and start speaking the truth. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? But any other questions? Any other questions about the Supreme Grand Council? Are we clear? Are we clear? Are we clear? Word to Tosh, man. They do be saying that. Are we clear? And I know a lot of people don't be clear, but they be too scared to be like, nah, we ain't clear, Taj. Run that back. I know you guys don't be clear. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Keep it real with your boy. Knowing damn well, because I know I done been watching the video saying, yep, I'm clear. I know I ain't clear. I got to hit the pause and go look it up. So I know y'all be in the classes. You know, I know you know. You know what I mean? Um, is that our government? Kate, oh, is the United States of America Republic our government? Um, What do you mean by our? What's your nationality? Let's get some clarification. I mean, it's the government to under which I live right now. I'm under the United. Well, it's being operated as a democracy, and it's called the U.S. But you know, what's supposed to be operating in the United States of America, North America, is a republic, a constitution. So, in that sense, yeah. So, what now? Jason Space Bay. Great question. What now? What now is, well, once I get off the live, I would love for everyone that's watching this. Yes, you, brother, Space, everybody, look at the document, read it, investigate, find some questions, see if there's some issues, some inconsistencies. See if it's some clarification, if it brings some enlightenment, some awareness. Most importantly, study it and then bring that to the rest of the people because um if I haven't been clear, let me make it crystal clear for some of the ones that be in the comment section still trying to ask me questions. This is my objective. This is my vision. Number one, make sure we have a national awareness and discussion about the Supreme Grand Council so that everyone, all Moorish Americans, are informed and knowledgeable about what the Supreme Grand Council is and what the people that are on it are supposed to be doing. That's number one. Education, awareness, being informed. We can't make any sort of intelligent decision if we don't even understand the situation at hand. So understand the Supreme Grand Council. Also understand our status right now, the current status of it. What has it been doing? Who are the active members? Let's get the records. Let's do an audit. Let's find out what's been happening. Because this is just the 89th. This document just says it's the rulings for the 89th and 90th convention years. So this is just for 2 years. What about the other 88 years or 80 plus years between now and when Prophet Noble Drew Ali passed? Where's the documentation for all of this? We need all these records. Once we have assessed the situation, got a clear understanding of our current situation to understand where we are, now we can re-elect people to the council, or not re-elect, but appoint and confirm the people to the council. We'll have a clear understanding of who those people are and their responsibility, and so will they. And then we can start figuring out what needs priority. What do we need to focus on as a Supreme Grand Council and as a movement, as a nation, as a whole. But number one is the education. That's the right now. The so what now? Gotta be informed. Because if someone asks you about the Supreme Grand Council, you shouldn't have to refer them to a video about it. You should be able to give a breakdown of what this council is and who the members are. That should be some basic stuff. That's my opinion anyways. That's also why I keep wanting to make this a national discussion, because I don't want it to be just based off of what I think, because I don't have all the information. My perspective isn't the Moorish perspective to believe or to follow. I'm just one person, putting forth the information in the way I see things. But it's a national thing. It's a we, not me. You know what I mean? Lucas Manian, I apologize if I mispronounced that, but Lucas, in the absence of the prophet, how can the Supreme Grand Council vacancies be filled? That is a beautiful question. And I think we all need to make sure that that question is answered, and it's supported by documentation. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I have my beliefs on how I think, but I don't want to go on that. That's why we need to talk and get the elders. We have to get this information because somewhere in some archives, in somebody's folder somewhere, there's documentation that will help reveal all of this and make it plain and make it clear for everyone. But what we can't do is just wait and ask me questions and then go and run back to other people and say, well, Rami said that we need to be doing this. And then run up and then say, well, such and such said we need to do this. So I don't know what we need to do. That's the key. Again, I want to keep saying this over: national discussion, national awareness, not just me. It should be priority number one for temple meetings every Friday until we have some clarity on the issue, and where everyone across the board, you can ask anybody and they'll just chime in. Yeah, this is how you do it. Different than if I ask someone, why are we Moorish American? Why are we Moorish American? Somebody should be able to answer that. It's a very simple answer. Super KSO9. Shouldn't they be appointed by the Supreme Grand Advisor and then confirmed by the Grand Body to make it official? I don't know. Should they? Again, that's why I'm saying we all have to be educated. We all have to be informed. Descendants of Moroccans and born in America, Islam, Christopher Hussein. It's just that simple. And the answer should be across our entire nation. It shouldn't be, well, I feel this is how we need to do it. Well, I believe the prophet did it this way. Well, what actually was it? How did it happen? What is the process? Let's figure that out. And let's get that cemented and very clear so we don't have to go through this anymore. We can just refer right there. Boom. This is how it goes. You know what I mean? Oh, Zimic Paralegal, man. I meant to, my bad, y'all. I meant to start this off. I forgot to put the good vibes out there. And we're going to let some of the Yamineries in. If you have something against this Moorish divine and national movement, if you are one of the people that are on this live watching and trying to discourage people from reclaiming our identity as Moors and Moorish Americans, it's okay for you to feel that way. I'm just asking, please go to someone else's live stream. Please go to some other YouTube channel. Please. Because that energy doesn't help us in here. It's just a distraction. A waste of time. Quite frankly, it's a little annoying. So I'm just asking humbly, can you just bounce out? Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. It sounds like we need 1 million more march to Chicago. Straight to the Supreme Grand Council Convention. Period. That part. You will. I like the sound of that. You know what I mean? I do like the sound of that. You know what I mean? For real, for real. Most of every contract written is in the incorrect sentence structure. Alrighty. That's cool. Let me see if there's any other questions. This brother Booger, Mr. Unapologetic. I've been wanting to get my status corrected, but I don't know where to start. What should I do first? And you even gave an email. I appreciate that. Why you want to get it corrected? I would start there. Go look up what status means in the dictionary, unabridged. Understand the etymology of it. Then look into a law dictionary and get a excellent, get a proficient, get a spend 5 hours studying the definition of status in law, and then come holler at me. IAMHHtemple@gmail.com. Booger Mr. Unapologetic. Um, let's see. Any um any other questions? Any other questions? What about the mothers? David Ray. I don't know what you mean by that question. What do you mean, what about the mothers? What mothers? Moorish American Nationals Hub. If I study 3 months, start my own splinter group, and extract people from prison, put liens on European corporations, charge people 1,500 to nationalize, and put Thai videos, am I qualified for the Supreme Grand Council? Um, I would say I think we all need to get a great understanding of what qualifies you to be on the Supreme Grand Council. I don't want you to ask me as if I am the decider who should be on the council or not. I didn't make up the council. I didn't make the rules or the guidelines on how we put people on the council. But I can refer you to the person that did, Noble Drew Ali. So I would say that we all need to review what Noble Drew Ali said regarding the Supreme Grand Council, and then hold everyone that wants to be a member of the council up to those standards and see if they match up, and then go from there. Oh man, come on, man. Let's go on with the whole constitution is invalid because of the grammar. We're not on that hype today. Please. Please no. um Super KSO9. What I'm gonna do, and if you were late to this and didn't catch it, once I'm done, I'm gonna make a Google Drive, public Google Drive, and drop the documents that I was sent um, uh, into the Google Drive. And all you need to do is just click the link and download it. You know what I mean? So if you want to see it, it'll be right there for everyone, available. Um, yeah, I can, man. I did. Let me finish up here, and then we'll get to it. Um, Rami, you posted a letter. You posted a letter from the Moorish Science Temple of America, Chicago, recently. It sounded like they were only interested in helping dues-paying members. Did you get that vibe as well? Yeah. In fact, the person that sent me these documents, Temeaka Gray, which is, alleging to be the Supreme Public Relations Officer. And again, I repeat that because I want you to look up public relations to understand what that position is for. And when I sent her an email, requesting the information for the Supreme Grand Council, she wasn't forthcoming with the information. Um, it wasn't a friendly and a pleasant, greeting and welcoming energy. No, it was the gist of it was, what are you a member? What temple are you from? Almost on some game, like, golly, what set you claim? Take it easy. Sheesh. I'm just trying to find out some public information about the Supreme Grand Council. That's all. So to answer your question, Lucas, I feel that there are many people in this movement that put up or give off that energy of, well, you need to be a due paying member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, or else we can't help you with anything. And I think, or I believe, my feeling is that is they have developed that into being the the not resist but the repellent, you know what I mean, to keep people, to push people away, to keep people from really investigating and really being involved in this movement. And so that, but that's just my opinion. That's just what I believe and how I feel based on, my experiences. Could be different for other people. I don't want to make that seem as if every single person that I've come across is like that, because that's not the case either. But I do get that vibe. Oh, on Facebook. As a matter of fact, another person. I apologize, I can't remember the person's name, but another person sent me a message and was like, "Yo, Rami, one of the members is on Facebook Messenger. You could." I contacted her and she was forthcoming with information. So I was like, "Oh, word, all right." And so I hit her up. He wasn't so forthcoming with me though. All right, we coming up on the hour mark. Don't want to hold y'all too long. And I feel like I've said what I needed to say in terms of the Supreme Grand Council. Did anyone have any other questions for me? Who is the person that asked me about mothers? I didn't understand that question. Yeah, David Ray. Oh no, David Ray never got back to it. Uh, yeah, was there any other questions for I dip up out of here? Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. No other questions. Um. Can I also do a video? Can I also do a video in the future on the covenant? What do you mean by the covenant? Super KSO9. But I did want to read this for the record. This is still coming out of Moorish literature, which is on. I think the website is moorishkingdom.tripod.com. I think that's the website name. But if you just Google Moorish literature, it's one of the first links that comes up. Just look at the tripod.com link. But in the section that says to all governors, grand chiefs, and head officials of the temple. Let me just read this just to put this on the record again, just because it's just powerful, man. During this convention period, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said on the 17th of October that he was going to appoint 7 men tried and true and accepted by you. And on the very next day, and accepted by you, this was to all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of the temple. So, the process 7 people are picked that are tried and true and accepted by you. You being all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of temples. So there's a process, and this should be documented. We should have a record of all the people that said, yes, I accept this member, or no, I do not accept this member. So that we all have a record and we all have an understanding of who the members are, who appointed them, who confirmed them, who felt that they weren't qualified, what are the reasons, so we as a nation can be informed and understand who our leaders are. But let me get back to it real quick. And on the very next day, Noble Drew Ali stepped forward from the chamber room and declared he had his number and said that the grand body had accepted his choice in the setting of the Supreme Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali also declared what their duties in conjunction with that of the grand body, which consists of all executive rulers. All executive rulers. The grand body is all executive rulers. Drew Ali said that they are both to work hand in hand with each other, the grand body and the Supreme Grand Council. So now we got to know who the Supreme Grand Council is, but we also got to know who the grand body is. That means all the heads of the temples. We all got to get this clear so we all know who is who and what is what and who's been doing what and who hasn't been doing, who's been active and who's been passive. You feel? But this is the part. Noble Drew Ali announces that the following adept chambers would be seated on the Supreme Grand Council. Noble Drew Ali announced the names. Now, if Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, can make the names public, why aren't the names public right now? Got to get better than this. But the most important part that I want to read about all of this whole section, two parts. One, the prophet also announced that a per capita tax, the prophet announced a per capita tax had been voted in by the grand body and concurred with by the Supreme Grand Council during the second seating of the Supreme Grand Council. The tax issue was handled and agreed with the grand body and the Supreme Grand Council. Do you see why the Supreme Grand Council is so important? But that wasn't even the most important part. The most important part that I wanted to read, short sentence. Then the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, "Follow me, and you will be happy." Come on now. Don't follow the people that's creating their own little groups because they figured out some slick backdoor way to get some money. Don't follow the dude that sound real good about, yeah, I can get this house for you. You ain't got to pay a dime on it. Do not follow the lady that says, yeah, I'm going to just put a lien on all the judges and everybody in the courtroom and we're going to free all our people just like that. Follow Noble Drew Ali. Just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Brothers and sisters. Moabites and Moabitists. You know what I mean? Follow Noble Drew. And I think on that, man, we might just have to tie this one on up, man. Feeling good. I'm feeling great. Any last questions? Oh, shoot. Excuse me. The covenant. Damn, my fault, G. The Moorish covenant, because it was covenants throughout history, have been very important, and it also very much to do with the type of government. Email me, man, and I'll let me think about that. The covenant, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. If you want to know more information, if you want to get, just any questions, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. One more time, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. That's all one thing. What about the sages of the Silent Brotherhood? It's an open question. I don't know. What do you mean about the sages? What about them? We need a procedure for putting up the people that we feel are tried and true, qualified to be on the Supreme Grand Council. We have people that we feel are qualified, and I know you have people as well. We don't work off personality worship. I agree. I agree that there should be a procedure for this. Um, um, any other questions? No. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate it, Skunk Moxie. Um, Basil Bay. Follow Noble Drew Ali in all things. It must be a start somewhere. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that does sound good. Dissing your brothers. I don't understand what you mean, Jason. Um, Tony Rollins, I need the family for guidance and knowledge on how to accomplish things. It's very vague, and I'm not really into calling people on the phone like that. Because I've had some issues early on where it just gets into people wanting to argue and just real weird energy. So I don't really like being on the phone with people like that. I'd rather talk in person, see you. Um, the website, or you can email me, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. But what I would probably tell you, just like I tell most people that ask questions like that, what you need to start with is Noble Drew Ali. Any and everything that Noble Drew Ali taught, study that. Study that, study that, run through it backwards and forwards, study that for, every single day. Read through it. That's the best place to start. Um, what was the website again for literature? I believe the website is moorishkingdom.tripod.com, but I'm not positive on that. Excuse me. But if you do look it up, if you do look up Moorish literature, that website will pop right up. 57 minutes. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up. No other pertinent questions. We didn't hit the Moorish literature. We didn't spoke on some facts. Let's get into this, and then we are going to go ahead and, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get out of there with this. These holy and divine laws are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science of North America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, that they will learn to open their meetings and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with. Create your own laws in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatic of America to repent from their sinful ways before the great and awful day which is sure to come. That's coming out of the Holy Quran, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Moorish Science Temple of America, also referred to as the Holy Quran Circle 7 Quran, divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali, a universal prophet. He ain't just come for black people, so-called black people. Universal prophet. He just came to the so-called black people because we needed him the most. Thank you guys. Thank you all for tapping in, sisters and brothers. I appreciate that it wasn't too much nonsense in here. Thank you. Good energy. I appreciate in advance all of you guys, all of you people that are going to look into the document and actually read it and research and study and break it down, because we need that. Um, and I would say, if you could, to do your best to ask other Moorish Americans to make their video to speak their perspective. Speak on the Supreme Grand Council. Speak on the ideas you may have on how we need to get it started. Maybe you can be the one to start a national registry of all Moorish American temples so we can have a list of who is who, where are all the temples and who are the leaders of the temples, so that we can get an understanding of who the grand body is. The biggest thing, man, is be active. Let's focus. Let's get this Supreme Grand Council issue knocked out so that we can really get moving with our movement. I think that's it. Anything else? Anyone else? Last names? Anything? No? No. Do you think we will ever get it together? Absolutely. Robert Dickens, absolutely. And let me tell you why. Because those that say that we can and those that say that we cannot are both usually right. You think it, you speak it, you be it. It's simple. So we have to think and speak about the Supreme Grand Council being in effect. We got this thing back. We cleared out the nonsense and the confusion. We got everything, the backlog cleared out, and now we moving full steam ahead, 2019, 2020. When you put that energy out into the universe, it happens, man. It happens. It's magical like that. Tap in with me. I'll see you in the comment sections or on the email. That's it. Let's go with the prayer. Close it out. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Mother of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and by day, through the Holy Prophet and all holy prophets. Noble Drew Ali. Much love.